ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Science of Worship. So, the Science of Worship or significance of worship, in the last discussion we were going through the Guru Adi Puja, worship of the Guru, Ganesha and other deities. So now in that process we will just recapitulate the whole thing again, because we had almost finished 3/4 of this part of Sri Guru Adi Puja. Again we will recapitulate it, revise it and then go forward to the next step. Now Sri Guru Adi Puja, worship of Sri Guru, Sri Ganesha and other deities. So in this step we are supposed to worship with a flower smeared with sandal paste, which indicates that we are giving that with devotion. Worship at the Tamra Kunda. Tamra means copper, Kunda means the pot or that vessel. Now here they have kept a steel Kunda, steel one. Usually they use the copper one. So I have just given you the photo in which there is the Baneshwara Linga is also there, the flower is there. Now it is based on a tripod. You can see it is placed on a tripod to heighten it, and below that is the Samanyarghya, which is placed on the Koshika, and there is a Kushi, and all the things are there of the worship you can see in that picture. So that is the Tamrakunda where we have to worship. We have to keep the flowers after telling the name of that particular deity. So that is the picture of Tamrakunda. But here it is steel Kunda, or it is made out of steel. Generally it is made out of copper. With a flower smeared with sandal paste, worship at the Kunda, the Puja Kunda, saying the first one is we have to always worship because he is the one, our Guru is the one who leads the path to spirituality. So we have to first worship Guru. So we will start with that. Om Aim Ete Gandha Pushpe Shri Gurave Namaha. I have taught all these things. We have discussed about these things in the last session, so I am not going into the detail. I am just pronouncing it. Om Aim Ete Gandha Pushpe Shri Gurave Namaha. I have done the worship of Shri Guru with that flower besmeared with sandal paste. Next I am going to worship Shri Ganesha. Om Gam Ete Gandha Pushpe Ganeshaya Namaha. So I am going to the next worship of Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya Ete Gandha Pushpe Shivaya Namaha. Then I am going to the worship of Surya, Surya Bhagavan. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Shri Suryaya Namaha. Next it is Narayana. Om Namo Narayanaya Ete Gandha Pushpe Narayanaya Namaha. Next we are worshipping Mother Durga. Om Hrim Ete Gandha Pushpe Jaya Durgayai Namaha. Then we are worshipping Agni. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Agnaye Namaha. Then we are worshipping Adityadi Navagraha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. The 9 planets have been worshipped with this flower besmeared with sandal paste. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Indradi Dasha Dikpalebhyo Namaha. So Indra and other guardian deities of the directions, all the 10 directions. There are, in a linear way, it is 8 direction. Then the top and the below, bottom, up and below, Adaha, Urdhva. So that is also 2 different directions. So every direction is guarded by a deity. So we have worshipped. It starts with Indra and other deities. So Indra, Adi, Dasha means 10, Dikpalebhyaha, Dikpalebhyo Namaha. Next is we are worshipping Mother Kali and the Divine Mother's different 10 aspects. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Kalyadi Dashamaha Vidyabhyo Namaha. I have explained which are the 10 different manifestations of Divine Mother, Kali, Tara, all those things I have told you in the last class, explained about that. Now we are going to the next, Matsya Adi Dasha Avatarebhyo Namaha. 10 different avatars of Lord Vishnu. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Matsya Adi Dasha Avatarebhyo Namaha. Now we had finished until this worship in the last class. Now we will continue worshipping the different other deities. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. So I am worshipping all the male gods. Sarvebhyo, that is Sarva Ebhyaha. Sarvebhyaha means while we are mentioning the male aspect, that is the masculine gender, we use that Sarvebhyo. When we denote the feminine gender, it is Sarvabhyo. So masculine is Sarvebhyo, feminine is Sarvabhyo. So Devebhyo means all the male gods. I am worshipping with this flower besmeared with sandal paste all the male gods. Namaha. Om, I think you can repeat the mantra now. Om Ete Gandhapushpe, Om Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvabhyo please excuse me, I went to the next step, that is of the all the goddesses. I'm sorry, we'll come back to that. Om Ete Gandhapushpe, Om Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. So that is the way we have to chant the mantra for all the male gods. Masculine gender is used. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. Now we are using the feminine gender for all the female deities, goddesses. So we shall now learn to chant it. Please repeat it after me. Om Ete Gandhapushpe, Om Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvabhyo Devibhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvabhyo Devibhyo Namaha. Then we are going to the next, worshipping all the alphabets. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Akaradi Panchashat Varnebhyo Namaha. There are 15 alphabets in Sanskrit, 50 alphabets in Sanskrit. So they are all representing different deities, gods, goddesses. So they come from Saraswati, Matruka Varna, Matruka Saraswati. So they have all originated from Om. All they are called Akshara. Akshara means they don't have any destruction, they don't get destroyed. So that's why they call Akshara. Akshara means destruction, Akshara means no destruction. So they have originated from Om. They are all representing deities, different gods and goddesses. So now we are worshipping all those 50 alphabets. So how are we doing that? You can learn the pronunciation now. Om ete gandha pushpe. Om ete gandha pushpe akaradi panchashat varnebhyo akaradi panchashat varnebhyo namaha. So akara means the first letter a. So you know the first letter, it starts with the vowels a, I, u, r, r, a, I, o, au, ah. Then we have the 25, the vyanjanas, that is the consonants which are grouped. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, ta, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. 25. Then ungrouped, avargiya vyanjana. Avargiya vyanjana. So what are they? Ya, ra, la, va, sha, sha, sa, ha, la, sha. So totally there are 50 alphabets. So all these alphabets are worshipped now with the flower Om and the mantra Om ete gandha pushpe akara adi. So first letter is a. So adi means all the other 50 letters. Together with that, it will other 49 letters. So including akara, it is 50 letters. Panchashat. Pancha means 5. Shata means 10. So it is 50. Panchashat varnebhyo. So all the alphabets namaha, I worship. So that is the meaning. So we will again repeat it. Om ete gandha pushpe akaradi panchashat varnebhyo namaha. So now we are going to the next worship, that is Pratipat Adi Titibhyo Namaha. First we will chant it. Om ete gandha pushpe. Om ete gandha pushpe Pratipadadi Titibhyo Namaha. Pratipadadi Titibhyo Namaha. What did we worship now? What is the meaning of Pratipat Adi Titibhyo Namaha? There are 15 tithis. So we are worshipping all those tithis. What are the tithis? The days. Now you know that the Pitru Paksha is going. Paksha means 15 days. Pitru. So when the ancestors are worshipped. So that Paksha word means 15 days. So now Paksha can be either Krishna Paksha or Shukla Paksha. So it is all how we calculate the time or the day based on the movement of the moon. So now you know we have every month we will be having these two things, that is the new moon day and the full moon day. Full moon day is called as Purnima. Then the new moon day, when there will be no moon, it's called Amavasya. So when we are counting the days, that is the tithi from the Amavasya, when there is no moon, towards the Purnima, full moon. Now we are going towards light. Full moon you will have light. So that Paksha from Amavasya, from no moon or new moon to full moon, those 15 days are called Shukla Paksha, because you are going towards light, full moon. So it is called Shukla. Shukla means white. So Shukla Paksha, those 15 days called Shukla Paksha. From the full moon, Purnima, to the new moon, that is no moon. So it is darkness. Amavasya is full dark. So you are going from light to dark. So that those 15 days from which you are going towards the new moon, no moon, new moon day. From the full moon, you are going to darkness. So it is called Krishna Paksha. Krishna means dark or black. So that 15 days is called Krishna Paksha. So in this way, the 15 days going towards darkness is called Krishna Paksha. Going towards brightness, that is the light, full moon, is called Shukla Paksha. The 15 days are called as Tithi 15 tithis. Each day is called tithi. So what is the first tithi? What is the first day? Either from Amavasya or the Purnima. It will be, the next day will be the first tithi. So if it is full moon, then the next day the moon will reduce its size. We know that. So that is the first day after, that is going towards Krishna Paksha. Then suppose if it is new moon, Amavasya, then we are going towards Purnima. So from darkness, complete darkness, we will see the first small formation of moon. So that first day after the Amavasya or after the Purnima is called that tithi. That day is called, that is called tithi. That particular first day is called Pratipat. And what is the second day, second tithi? In Krishna Paksha or Shukla Paksha, the second day is called Dvitiyam Tithau. Tithi. Dvitiya. Second tithi. Then the third tithi day is called Tritiya. Fourth, Chaturthi. That's why you can see Ganesha birthday is celebrated as Ganesha Chaturthi. Chaturthi means fourth day. Shukla Paksha. Bhadrapada is the masa, is the month. Shukla Paksha. Bhadrapada Shukla Paksha. Chaturthi Tithi. Chaturthyam Tithau. So the fourth day is called Chaturthi. Fifth day is called Panchami. Now we will tell Nagara Panchami, Naga Panchami. So that snake gods are worshipped on that day. Naga or Subramanya is worshipped. So it's the fifth day, Panchami. Shashti is the sixth day. That's why it's Shashti Tithau, Shashtyam. Shashti Tithi is called Shashti, sixth day. Then seventh day is called Saptami. Saptamyam Tithau. When we are doing Sankalpa, we will tell Saptamyam Tithau. So seventh day. In either Krishna Paksha or Shukla Paksha, the tithi is called Saptami, seventh day. Then the eighth day, eighth tithi is Ashtami, Ashtamyam Tithau. Then the ninth day is called Navami, Navamyam Tithau, Navami. 10th day is called Dashami. 11th day is called Ekadashi. 12th tithi is called Dwadashi. 13th tithi or day is called Trayodashi. Then the 14th day or tithi is called Chaturdashi. Then the 15th day will not be called Panchadashi, but it will be either Amavasya or it will be Purnima, the 15th day. So the whole month. Now we calculate the days in this format. This is called tithi. So 15 tithis are there in each paksha, that is 15 days. So there will be two pakshas, Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha in a month. So that is called tithi. Now what is the worship you have done? Pratipat, the first day. Adi, all the other 15 tithis. Pratipat, Adi, Tithibhyo Namaha. We have worshipped all the 15 days, 15 tithis, including Pratipat. Pratipat, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and Amavasya or Purnima. So these are the 15 tithis, we have worshipped them. Now time. They are all time, calculation of the time, days, tithi. Okay. Now the next worship is done to Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Krishna Pakshaya Namaha. I told you one of the 15 days will be Krishna Paksha because we are going to darkness, new moon day or no moon day. So from full moon day to no moon day or new moon day, Amavasya, it is called Krishna Paksha. So we are worshipping that Krishna Paksha, the whole, all of them. So we shall now chant that Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Krishna Pakshaya Namaha, Krishna Pakshaya Namaha. Now, next worship is for the Shukla Paksha. What is Shukla Paksha? The tithi which is from the Amavasya to the Purnima, full moon day. We are going towards brightness. It's called Shukla Paksha. Shukla means white. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe. You can chant it. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe. Shukla Pakshaya Namaha. Shukla Pakshaya Namaha. Now what are we worshipping next? We are worshipping the days, that is Amavasya and Purnima. So first will be Amavasya. So how to pronounce it? Amavasyayai. Amavasyayai. That's why you can see there is the elongation mark. The line is given there. So Amavasyayai. Now we will chant it. Om ete gandha pushpe. Om ete gandha pushpe. Amavasyayai namaha. Amavasyayai namaha. So you should not pronounce wrongly as Amavasya or something like that. It should be, the pronunciation is Amavasyayai. Amavasyayai namaha. Then the next one, we are going to worship Purnima. So how to chant it? We can learn it. Om ete gandha pushpe. Om ete gandha pushpe. Purnimayai namaha. Purnimayai namaha. So we are worshipping that Purnima, full moon day, Tithi. Om ete gandha pushpe Purnimayai namaha. So now we have completed this step of worshipping of Guru, Ganesha and all the other deities. We have completed that portion of the worship. We are going to the next step, that is Baneshwara Shiva Puja. We are going to worship Lord Shiva in the form of Banalinga or Baneshwara Shiva. So that step is called Baneshwara Shiva Puja, worship of Baneshwara Shiva. So that is the next step we can see there. So first of all, we should know what is this Baneshwara. Banalinga means the Shiva Lingas which are obtained on the bank or in the river of Narmada. They have the presence of Shiva always. Shiva will be always present in that stone emblem found in the bank or in the river of Narmada. Narmada is called Shiva Putri, Mother Narmada. She originated from the sweat of Lord Shiva. While Shiva was about to shoot the Tripura, he was waiting. All the three cities should come to one line. Then at the same time he has to destroy those cities of the demons. So he was waiting with the bow and arrow, about to hit it. So at that time, with great concentration, he was ready to hit those things. Then he started sweating. So from that sweat, a river got formed, and that river is Narmada. Narmadeshwara. Shiva is also called, another name for Shiva is Narmadeshwara. So now she is the Shiva Putri. So whatever stone emblem which are found in the river or on the bank of Narmada, that contains the presence of Lord Shiva always. You need not even invoke Shiva into that. Always presence of Shiva will be there. If you have Baneshwara in your house, you have to always place some flower or Bilvapatra on it. You have to worship it with whatever. Because Shiva is always present there. You need not even invoke him into it. So now, generally, in our ashramas, we worship all the deities, especially Ramakrishna or Divine Mother, invoking into the Baneshwara Linga emblem. Suppose we are doing the worship, it can also be invoked in Saligrama. Suppose we are invoking Narayana, Krishna or something, we invoke that on the Baneshwara Linga. Sorry, on the Salagrama stone emblem. So generally in our ashrama, Ramakrishna is invoked in Baneshwara Linga. So now we have to worship that Baneshwara before we invoke Ramakrishna into that. So now how is it to be worshipped? Baneshwara Shiva Puja is to be done. So taking a white flower in Kurma Mudra. We all know what is Kurma Mudra. I have showed you many times earlier. Again I can show you. So now with these fingers like this, then keeping the left hand in this formation, keeping them together, then covering this hand like this, it forms like a tortoise. So this is called kurma. Kurma means tortoise. You have to take a flower in between these two fingers, place it like this, fold it, then keep it towards inside the hands. Then in this formation, cover like this. Inside there will be flower. You have to meditate at the chest region or the heart region. So this is the posture of Kurma Mudra. This is used for meditation of any deity. You do the meditation with the flower in the Kurma Mudra. So we have already earlier shown what is Kurma Mudra. That's why I'm not showing the picture here. So this is Kurma Mudra. Now taking a white flower, because for Shiva it is white flower in Kurma Mudra. If you cannot procure white flower, don't worry. But if you can, then use the white flower. In Kurma Mudra, holding the flower near the heart, meditate, uttering the mantra. What is the meditation mantra of Baneshwar Linga? Suppose you are doing the worship of Shiva in a different way. Then the Dhyana mantra will be different. Because we are worshipping Baneshwar Shivalinga, Banalinga, that's why for the sake of that, the meditation mantra for Banalinga or Baneshwar Linga will be this one. So for doing Shiva worship at other Shivaratri and other things, it varies. If you are worshipping different Shivalingas, the mantra, Dhyana mantra will vary. So here for the sake of worship of Baneshwar Shiva or Banalinga, this is the meditation mantra. So what is the meditation mantra? We are using it. We will learn to chant, but before that I will chant it for you. Taking a white flower in Kurma Mudra, holding the flower near the heart, meditate saying Aim. So Aim is the Bija mantra of the knowledge, consciousness, Saraswati, Guru, Shiva. So that is the knowledge aspect of Shiva. We use this Aim. So that Bija mantra is used here. Aim Pramattam Shakti Sanyuktam Banakhyam Cha Mahaprabham Kama Bananvitam Devam Samsara Dahanakshamam Shringaradi Rasollasam Banakhyam Parameshwaram Evam Dhyatva Banalingam Yajettam Paramam Shivam. So this is the meditation mantra of Lord Banalinga, Baneshwar Linga. Now we shall chant it first, then I will tell you the meaning. Carefully listen and then chant. I will tell it slowly. Aim Pramattam. Aim Pramattam Shakti Sanyuktam. Shakti Sanyuktam Banakhyam Banakhyam Cha Mahaprabham Cha Mahaprabham Kama Bananvitam Kama Bananvitam Devam Devam Samsara Samsara Dahanakshamam Dahanakshamam Shringaradi Rasollasam Shringaradi Rasollasam Banakhyam Banakhyam Parameshwaram Parameshwaram Evam Dhyatva Evam Dhyatva Banalingam Banalingam Yajettam Yajettam Paramam Shivam Paramam Shivam. Okay, we have learnt the chanting. I will teach it again because it's a long mantra. Also difficult words are there. We will learn it again. Aim Pramattam Aim Pramattam Shakti Sanyuktam Shakti Sanyuktam. Now after Shakti Samyuktam, after that nasal sound Anunashika, when the ya comes, yakara, ya, yukta, then the pronunciation will become sanyuktam. You can't tell it as samyuktam or sangyuktam. It should be yakara, ya should come, sai. So whenever ya, yakara comes after Anunashika, the Panini grammar states that we have to Chant it as, pronounce it as Sanyuktam. Just like Tajjanyoravrani. Tajjam Yoravrati. That is the thing there. But we will tell Tajjanyoravrani Mahe. So like that here, when Yakara comes after Anunasika, it should be pronounced as Sanyuktam. So Shakti Sanyuktam. Next, Banakyam. Now, the Aim is the Bija Mantra of the knowledge, consciousness, Shiva, Guru. So Saraswati also. So Pramattam. What is the meaning of Pramattam? Intoxicated. So how is Shiva, Banasura intoxicated? He is intoxicated, Pramattam, with the divine inebriation, with the divine knowledge or Samadhi, always immersed in Parabrahma himself. That is Parabrahma Swarupa, Satchit Ananda. Bliss is intoxicated with that infinite bliss of Parabrahma, Pramattam. That is the Matta, means intoxicated with bliss, joy of himself. Is Atman, Atma Swarupa. So that is the meaning of Pramattam. Then Shakti Sanyuktam. Shakti means Divine Mother, Parvati or Durga, whatever. Sanyuktam means together with. He is there always with Shakti, Divine Mother, Uma or Parvati or Durga, Kali, whatever you may call. Shakti Sanyuktam. He is always with Divine Mother Shakti. Banakyam. Akyam means name. Bana means that Bana name. He who is having the name with this Bana. Bana Akyam, named as Bana. Cha and Maha, great. Prabham, light, the light of spirituality. The great light, light of knowledge. Mahaprabham. So they, while describing Ganesha Vittal, Koti Surya Samaprabha, like that all gods are having the light more than that of the 1,000 or crores, billions of suns. But it will not be scorching. It will be very soothing. Mahaprabham. Then Kama Bananvitam. Kama, that is the Cupid, Indian, that deity who is called Cupid, Kama. Bana, he usually uses that arrows, the arrow flower, to bring lust in human beings and other animals. He put that on Lord Shiva. Then you know that afterwards Shiva burnt him with his third eye, eye of knowledge. So he used that arrow on Lord Shiva. That's why he gets the name Kama Bana Anvitam. Bana means arrow of Cupid. Anvitam, who got it on with him. Kama Bana Anvitam. Devam, the Lord who is bright. Deva comes from the word Div, means to shine. Devam. Samsara, this transmigratory existence of Maya, unreal world. Dahanakshavam, who burns it off, who removes this ignorance, the samsara, this transmigratory existence is Maya. It is shown to us due to our ignorance, so that he will remove. Samsara Dahanakshamam. He is capable. Kshamam means capable. Dahana means to burn, to remove, to destroy the Maya, ignorance of samsara. Then that's why Samsara Dahanakshamam. Then the next word is Shringaradi Rasollasam. Shringara means the rasa. There are Navarasa. Shringara is the first one. There are so many other rasa, Bhivatsa, then so many other. Together it is 9 rasa. So Shringara Adi, the rest rasa. Ullasam. So it is, he is in that joy. So this is Sattvika rasa. Not the Rajasika and Tamasika. It is Sattvika rasa. Is filled with the joy. Ullasam. Banakyam. So who is having the name named by Bana. Parameshwaram. Parama means highest. Ishvara, the highest Lord. Parameshwaram. Evam, in this way. Dhyatva, meditating. Banalingam, this linga or the emblem Shivalinga of Banalinga, called Banalinga. Yajetam, Yajet tam, you have to worship him. Paramam Shivam. So in this way, meditating Lord Shiva, the glories of Lord Shiva, in this way, you have to worship Lord Shiva in the name of Bana Linga in this way. That is the meaning of this mantra. Again, I will take you through the pronunciation. I have given you the meaning now. I will take you through the pronunciation again. Aim Pramattam Shakti Sanyuktam Banakhyam Cha Mahaprabham Kamabananvitam Devam Samsara Dahanakshamam Shringaradi Rasollasam Banakhyam Parameshwaram Evam Dhyatva Banalingam Yajettam Paramam Shivam. So in this way, meditating all the divine qualities of Lord Shiva, you have to do the puja of Baneshwara. That is the meaning of this mantra. So we have learnt the mantra of the meditation of Banalinga, Baneshwara Shiva Puja, Baneshwara Shiva, and also we have learnt how to chant it and also the meaning. Now we will proceed to learn the process. Now after meditating with the Kurma Mudra, that flower which you have taken to meditate, you have to place that flower on that white flower. In the beginning we told, taking a white flower in Kurma Mudra, holding the flower near the heart, meditating the mantra. So that white flower, you have to place it after the meditation, place it on the Baneshwara Linga, head of the Baneshwara Linga. Then after that, we have to perform the Pancha, 5 different types of services, starting with bathing, giving the bath. So bathe the deity by pouring water from the kosha. That's the small spoon, the copper spoon. We told koshika and kosha are there. So you even saw the photo there, the beginning too. So with that kosha small spoon, you have to take the water from the Samanya Arghya, which is where you have invoked all the Sapta Nadis from the solar orb. So by means of that kushi, that small thing which is in the kosha, the water in the kosha, you have to take it in the kushi while ringing the bell, uttering the mantra. You have to ring the bell, then pour that water on the Shiva Linga, Baneshwara Shiva Linga, with the mantra, that is the Mrutyunjaya mantra. Then we have to do the process of bath to Shiva, bathing Shiva. So now we have to utter that mantra. What is that mantra? The Mrutyunjaya mantra. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrutyor Mukshiyam Amritat. So it is a Vedic mantra which comes in Rudra. So we have to chant in that Vedic chanting with intonation. I will just chant it now. If you are not trained in Vedic lore or Vedic mantra, it is difficult. So even then I will chant it. You can learn it too later on, but I will teach you the pronunciation. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrutyor Mukshiyamamritaat. I'll chant it again. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrutyor Mukshiyamamritaat. That is the way of chanting in the Vedic pattern. Now we shall go to the simple chanting. Om Trambakam. So it is 3 Ambaka. 3 means 3. The same, the numerical, English numerical 3 has come from Sanskrit 3. So this, you can see that it becomes Triya. Trem. You should not do too much of Triyambakam or something like that. It is Trembakam. Some people chant it as Triyambakam. Triyambakam. No. While together it is, first if you divide it, it becomes 3 Ambakam. But chanting together it becomes Trembakam. So Trembakam means 3-eyed Lord Shiva, who is having 3 eyes, together with the knowledge of, the eye of knowledge, 3rd eye at the forehead. So Trambakam Yajamahe. I am going to worship. Yajamahe. I am going to worship. If I am going to worship, it becomes Yajamahe. I am doing that. So when together Trambakam then see that last word is come, that is the nasal anunasika. Then we have the Y, yajamahe. So just now I told in the Baneshwara Dhyana Mantra that Shakti Sanyuktam, it becomes Sai. Like that here also Aikara will come. How does this come? Instead of telling Trambakam Yajamahe, we have to, when we join together, if you separate it, well and good, no problem. But when you tell it together, you have to make it Aikara should come. How does the Aikara come here? Because the Yakara is there and the Anunasika is there. Om Trambakai Yajamahe. Trambakai Yajamahe. That is the pronunciation according to the Panini's grammar. Om Trambakai Yajamahe. Sugandhim. Sugandhim. So is a Yogeshwara. So you will have that beautiful fragrance emanating from the body of Lord Shiva. That's why he is called Sugandhim. Pushtivardhanam is the giver of nourishment, strength to us. If you repeat his name, if you repeat this mantra, if you meditate on Lord Shiva, he gives you nourishment, because this is called Mrityunjaya mantra. Mrityu means death, Jaya means to overcome. So people, votaries of Lord Shiva, they take recourse to this mantra, chant this mantra to get overcome death or some diseases. So at that time, what is the thing which we need? Is pushti, nourishment, strength. So the Lord Shiva is the giver of pushti or the strength. Vardhanam, who increases. So he is having beautiful fragrance emanating from him, Sugandhim, Pushti Vardhanam, who gives us nourishment, strength, Vardhanam. Urvarukam iva. Now all the other creepers which have the fruits or the vegetables, like we all know that bottle gourd, then snake gourd, and what you call ridged gourd. There are so many gourd. Like that, this creeper of the cucumber, the cucumber is called Urvaruka. So the name for cucumber is Urvaruka. So this fruit and the creeper have a very special way of putting out. So without harming or cutting the creeper, when it gets dried up, when it gets completely grown, then without any knowledge, very smoothly, naturally, that cucumber will come out. There will be no trace of cutting or harming the creeper. Very smoothly, it gets out of that creeper, when it is fully matured or dried. So in that fashion, very smoothly, bandhana, I am now bound. I have lot of bondages to this body, mind and ego and my individuality. Bandhanat mrityoho mukshiya mam amritat. So my attachment to this body, my bondage of attachment to this body, mind, ego, should fall off like that cucumber very smoothly. There should be no pain. The bondage of this death, mrityu, the bondage of mrityu, bandhanat mrityoho mukshiya mam amritat. So that bondage of death from this body, mind, ego, it should fall off just like the cucumber very smoothly falls off from the creeper without hurting the creeper or without the cucumber getting any trouble like any other creeper, vegetables or fruits. So like that, my bondages should also very smoothly, naturally, without pain fall off. And please lead me towards, O Lord, towards immortality, Mam Amritat. So I should be led towards immortality. That is the meaning of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. So that is chanted while giving bath to Lord Shiva. During this bathing process for Lord Shiva, we tell this mantra. So now I will chant it again according to the Vedic intonations. You can hear, then I will make you chant it, just the simple way of chanting. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv bandhanan mrityormukshiyamamritat. That is a way of chanting. I have given you the meaning, word to word meaning also is given. Then now we will learn how to chant it. Om Trembakam, Om Trembakam, Yajamahe, Yajamahe, Sugandhim, Sugandhim, Pushtivardhanam, Pushtivardhanam, Urvarukamiva, Urvarukamiva, Bandhanan Mrityormukshiya, Bandhanan Mrityormukshiya, Mamritat, Mamritat. Om Trambakam or Trambakai Yajamahe, when together separated it becomes Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiya Mamritat. So that is a way of chanting the mantra. Now we have learnt, while giving the bath to Lord Shiva, pouring the water from the Samanyargya, that is the kosha, with the small spoon koshika, you are ringing the bell and chanting this mantra, Mahamrutyunjaya mantra, and then bathing Lord Shiva. Now we'll go to the next process. After the process of bath to Lord Shiva, the service of bathing is done to Lord Shiva. Then what is the next step? Then after this thing, you can mentally Dehamarjanam, wipe, mentally you can wipe the body of Lord Shiva or Shivalingam with a cloth. You can mentally feel that you are wiping the body of Shiva after the bath. Then you have to offer this sandal paste, anoint the sandal paste to Lord Shiva's body. So now we are offering Shiva in this Panchopachara 5 services to Lord Shiva. We are now offering sandal paste, saying the mantra Om Aim Esha Gandhaha Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So now we shall chant it. Please chant after me. Om Aim Esha Gandhaha Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Om, we all know that Om chanting. Aim also I have taught, it's the Bija mantra. Esha, Esha means this. Gandhaha, the sandal paste. Gandhaha, sandal paste. So the dha is Mahaprana, not Gandha. It is Gandha. Then Visarga is also there. It is pronounced as Gandha. Om Esha Gandha Baneshwara. So Bana Ishwara, Baneshwara. Ba is also elongated, Dirgha. Then E is also elongated, that is Dirgha. Then Shwara, Baneshwara. But the pronunciation of Na, it is Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na. The nasal sound in that group, Ta, Tha, Da, Da, Na. So that's why we have to indicate that we have put a dot under that Na. It is not Baneswara. It's not Bana. It is Bana. So the tongue should touch the palate. Na. Baneshwara. Just like under. Or when you pronounce Krishna. Ghanta. So that Ana, the tongue should touch the palate. So that's why Baneshwara. Shivaya. Shivaya means the fourth case ending, indicating to Lord Shiva. So there's just like from Lord Shiva. Where do you go? To Lord Shiva. Whom will you give it? To Lord Shiva. Like that. The fourth case ending. Shivaya. Namaha. I bow down. So I am offering this. When you tell Namaha, you have to place that on the Shivalinga or near the Shivalinga in that Tamra Kunda. So we will chant that again. Om Aim Esha Gandhaha Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So I have learned to chant that mantra we offered the sandal paste. Now you can mentally feel that you are rubbing or anointing very softly and smoothly the sandal paste to the body of Lord Shiva. Now the next service to Lord Shiva after giving sandal paste is Pushpa. That is the flower. We are offering flower. So we add sandal paste to the flower to indicate your devotion. So the mantra, offer flowers touched with sandal paste, saying this mantra. Om Aim Idam Sachandana Pushpam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So we shall learn the chanting. Om Aim Idam Sachandana Pushpam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Om Aim Idam Sachandana Pushpam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. You learned the chanting. What is the meaning of that? Om Aim Idam. So all that up till Om Aim we know. Idam means this. Sa Chandana. With Chandana, that is the sandal paste. That's called it is shown as Sachandana, means with sandal paste, anointed with or touched with sandal paste is Sachandana. Pushpam. So it is not there, it is Gandha Pushpe. Gandha and Pushpa, so it becomes Gandha Pushpe. Here many flowers. When you are taking more than 3 flowers, 3 or more flowers, then it becomes Bahuvachana, plural. That's why Sachandana Pushpam. Pushpam, Pushpe, Pushpani. So neuter gender. So Pushpam, Sachandana Pushpam. So that is also not Bahuvachana, it is sorry, it is not Bahuvachana, it is the singular only. Pushpam. Sachandana Pushpam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Pushpam, Pushpe, Pushpani. So when you add Sachandana, it changes. Otherwise it will be Gandha Pushpe. When you tell Gandha Pushpe, it becomes to Dvivachana. Here Sachandana Pushpam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So the flowers and sandal paste is offered to Baneshwara Shiva. You place the flower on the head or at the feet of Lord Shiva. Next we are doing the service of giving Bilva leaf. So the Bilva leaf, or now we touch sandal paste to the Bilva leaf, and with great devotion we offer that Bilva leaf smeared with sandal paste, saying the mantra Om Aim Idam Sachandana Bilva Patram. Sachandana means with sandal paste. Bilva Patram, the Bilva leaf. Baneshwara Shivaya, to Lord Baneshwara. Namaha, I offer it. So when you tell Namaha, you have to offer that Bilva Patra on the head of that Shivalinga. We will learn to chant that mantra. Om Aim Idam Sachandana Bilva Patram Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Om Aim Idam Sachandana Bilva Patram Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So when we give Bilva Patra is very sacred to Lord Shiva, and it is also so pure and sacred that you can offer Bilva Patra many times. The other things you have to throw away or you have to take it as prasada. But Bilva Patra can be washed and kept again and again, and it is so sacred it can be used to Shiva even after using once. You can take it back and again use it, washing after that. Even if it gets dried too, you can use it. So that is the sacredness and importance of Bilva leaf. So there is also a mantra while giving the Bilva Patra. We have to tell this mantra that will be coming afterwards in the end, Dashopchar Puja. I will teach you then, but now I will just repeat that mantra. What is that mantra which we use for offering the Bilva Patra? Is Om Amrutodbhavam Shri Vriksham Shankarasya Sadapriyam Bilvapatram Prayachami Pavitran Te Sureshvara. Amrutodbhavam Shri Vriksham Shankarasya Sadapriyam Bilvapatram Prayachami Pavitram Te Sureshwara. That is the mantra we have to tell while we are giving the Bilvapatra. Now this is enough. Now we are going to the next thing, that is the giving the dhupa. What is dhupa? Dhupa means incense sticks, agarbatti. So light the agarbatti in the lamp, then after it has start giving that fragrant smoke, then you start waving to the Shivalinga so that Lord Shiva will get that fragrance from that agarbatti while ringing the bell and telling the mantra. So now we will ring the bell and tell the mantra. We will learn how to tell the mantra. Om Aim Esha Dhupaha. This incense sticks Dhupaha, this fragrance, Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha, I am offering to Lord Baneshwara. So shall we chant it again? Om Aim Esha Dhupaha Baneshwara. Om Aim Esha Dhupaha Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So we have given the fragrance, the agarbatti, the incense sticks. Now the next thing is, after dhupa, it is deepa, the lamp. We are giving the arati, the nirajana to Lord Shiva. So wave the light, light the lamp with the wicks and wave it around the Shivalinga, ringing the bell, telling this mantra. What is that mantra? Om Aim Esha Deepaha Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. I am offering this Deepa lamp, wick lamp, to Baneshwara Shiva. We shall learn to chant the mantra. Om Aim Esha Deepaha. Om Aim Esha Deepaha Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Now we are offering Naivedya, fruits and sweets and other things, to Lord Shiva. We are arranging that in a plate. Then you will put Bilvapatra or flower on it to purify it, and the water to drink, or you can also give some other than fruits and sweet, water to drink, and also it may be sharbat, fruit juices, anything can be given. Additional thing, minimum is fruits or sweets and water to drink in a cup. So put Bilvapatra. For Vishnu and other deities you have to put Tulsi Patra. For Shiva you have to put Bilvapatra or flower. So what is the mantra while offering the fruits or sweets? Offer fruits and sweets saying Om Aim Sopakarana, Aim Idam Sopakarana Naivedyam. Shall we chant it? Aim Idam Sopakarana Naivedyam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Aim Idam Sopakarana Naivedyam Sopakarana Naivedyam. Aim Idam Sopakarana Naivedyam Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. Baneshwara Shivaya Namaha. So now after the fruits offering, we are going to the next process, that is we have to worship Mother Gauri. Now this Baneshwara Shivalinga, the stone emblem, is placed on the Gauri Pitha. So we have to worship Mother Gauri, the Shakti, because you saw that in the Dhyana mantra, Shakti Sanyuktam, always Mother will be there. So we have to worship Divine Mother Gauri also. Now we will worship Mother Gauri. 5 offering or worship of Shiva is over. Now we will worship Mother Gauri. Worship at the Gauri Pitha. That is the metallic thing where the Shivalinga is placed. That is called Gauri Pitha. So worship at the Gauri Pitha with the flower touched with sandal paste, saying Om Hrim Ete Gandha Pushpe Gauriyai Namaha. Om Hrim is the Bija mantra of Shakti or Divine Mother. Ete Gandha Pushpe Gauriyai, that is to Gauri. The feminine character of the fourth case is Gauriyai, Durgayai, Saraswatyai, Sharadayai. So for the feminine fourth case, we use it as Gauriyai Namaha. We will learn the mantra Om Hrim Ete Gandha Pushpe Gauriyai Namaha. We have worshipped Mother Gauri with the flower touched with sandal paste with great devotion. So now after that, the now whole process of puja is over. Finally, bow down to Baneshwar Shiva with the folded hands, chanting this mantra. So now we can continue that, but because it's already 7 o'clock, I have to make you chant that mantra, then I have to tell you the meaning, so it will take a lot of time. So we will stop the puja class or the significance of signs of worship. Now we will close the discussion on the signs of worship for today with the mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.